Hey everybody, this is Derek for the Grumpy Guy Show, talking about episode number 93. Use your brain, people! Recorded on Tuesday, May 9th, 2023. Tonight's topics. Healthcare is about money, not your health. They got my cash. And the definition changes for effect. Stick around, it's a good episode. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Grumpy Guy Show. I'm Derek McAllister.
And I'm Ryan McAllister.
So, tonight, I'm not going to say we're going to have a short show. But I do want to say that I've up to season 2, I think, as far as getting them on YouTube. I think I've uploaded the first 6 episodes of the season or something along those lines. New episodes I'm not going to upload until I get caught up, and then they'll be uploaded to YouTube the same day that they're uploaded to Spotify. So, once if you're waiting for that, okay, it'll be soon. Hopefully, I don't know. There's a lot of things going on this weekend, and who knows? Maybe even next week. I don't know. I'm just going with it for right now, but. So, let's do a transition into our first topic.
Our world famous transitions.
Yeah, you say they're world famous, but they're not world famous. Not yet. We're gonna take over the world. As that was formulating in my head, all I could think of was Pinky in the Brain, the Pinky in the Brain.
Yep. Are you pondering what I'm pondering?
Yeah, sure. What cheese are we gonna eat tonight? Oh, I loved that show. Anyhow, so for our first topic, I want to talk about the healthcare nightmare that there is in the United States. Now, somebody who's from outside the U.S. might say, hey, it's like that every place. I don't know. I'm a U.S. citizen. That's all I know. That's all I can speak to is how it is here in the U.S. And let me tell you, folks, it just plain sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it's really bad for parents of young kids right now because, you folks don't know it, but your brother was sick last week and needed to go to the doctors. And so I said, all right, I'll take him because your mother was working. So, the problem is it's a first come, first serve when your kid is sick. It's not a situation where, they've got enough to potentially cover this. No. It's a first come, first serve, and if you can't get in today, oh well, that's your problem, not ours. It's just utterly ridiculous.
It is.
And the worst part is, even for regular visits, when I was a kid, doctors' offices for children had evening hours. Why? Well, because both parents worked and because kids were in school.
Mm-hmm.
Now, forget it. There are no evening hours. The idea of somebody getting perfect attendance through high school is almost unheard of because there's no evening hours for these doctors. They want Monday through Friday days, and that's all they work is Monday through Friday days.
But vets have evening hours.
Some do, not all of them. Ours does.
If our vet can do evening hours, then why can't our doctors?
Well, you have to remember, our vet does evening hours once a week. Ooh, you can't really see my finger because of how the lighting is. Once a week.
And that's there goes mine.
Yeah. And the reason he does it is because he owns the practice and he has an office in his house. So once a week, He does his own appointments, he sets them. The main office cannot set them. And he doesn't take a whole lot of people throughout the day
Mm-hmm.
so that he can actually spend time with with your pet and actually check your pet and converse
Mm-hmm.
with you. So it's much different than most veterinary offices. Most of them are just
Ah.
like all the healthcare where they just they shove these pets through as quickly as possible so that they get a high turnover so that they get a lot of money. It's not so much about actually taking care of the pet as much as it is, okay, you're done, get out of the way. And it's really horrible. But that's exactly what's happening with the healthcare industry. It used to be, I mean, not so much with my generation, but the generation before me, they would actually get time with their doctors. I mean, your mother had a local doctor who, had a limited number of patients that he accepted so that he could spend time with them and so that he could get to know them. And
Mm-hmm.
then when he retired, I mean, that all went out the door. Now she's in the same situation as everybody else where it's get him in, get him out. We don't get money we don't get money for you standing around talking to your patients. Nope, get him in, get him out.
Yep.
You can't. Don't worry about getting to know them. You've got a chart. You can read the chart before you walk into the room. You can read the chart and see what's going on with them.
Mm-hmm.
It's really really pathetic. And the worst part about it is, you know, this is the situation that we're in because everything is controlled by money.
Yeah.
You know,
That's basically it.
these doctors can't afford to accept all kinds of insurance, so they can't open their own practice.
And
Because
there isn't really a solution to this
well, there is.
as far as
this
people being too greedy.
Well, there's not for that, no. But what
And
the
in my opinion, it's why communism, the way Marx wrote it down, will never be put into practice.
yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Why it cannot be put into practice. Why it's impossible.
there's no perfect solution to any economy or any kind of
There is no
government.
perfect economic system.
Yeah, but the problem we have right now is, doctors, they spend a lot of money to become a doctor. I mean, plain and simple. There's
Yep.
no two bones about that. But, beyond that, they can't afford to just open up their own practice because then what they're doing is they're pushing off bills waiting for the insurance companies to reimburse them. Either that or they've got to charge the person full price and make that person get reimbursed from their insurance company. And nobody wants to do that. You go in just to get a simple little shot and they're going to charge you $200-300. I mean, they're obviously not charging that to you because they're charging your insurance company. But if it
Hmm.
was a private practice where you went in, they're going to charge you that and say, okay, here's your paperwork. Now you want any of your money back, you got to go talk to your insurance company. And the way, that's not overly profitable for them because people are going to get upset. And the insurance companies aren't going to like it. And that's the other problem there is with the healthcare system is insurance companies make all the decisions. Every single decision is based on what the insurance company is going to pay for. Unless you've got all kinds of money and you can pull it out of your pocket and then go to the insurance company and fight them, your doctor has to think about, okay, how can we do this with the insurance? You know, if you have kidney stones, the only way you can go see a urologist is if your primary care physician gives you a referral to it. You can't just say, oh, my kidneys are really bothering me. Maybe I should go get checked for a kidney stone. No, you got to go to your doctor first, your primary care. And then they will give you a referral to to a urologist. I mean, in the situation I'm in, I've already gotten the referral once, so, I can keep going back. But, the insurance company just kills everything. Your grandmother with her back, before she could get any surgery. Just so everybody knows, she's got the bones in her spine are or not her spine. Is it?
Deteriorating.
I can't remember now if it's the bones or if it's the discs. I don't remember, but at any rate,
It's the discs.
at any rate, so she had to have before the doctor or before the insurance would actually allow the doctor. She had gotten a referral to a spinal specialist before the insurance would allow him to do the surgery that he knew he was going to have to do. The insurance forced her to go through therapy first and try all kinds of other methods before they said, okay, go ahead and do the surgery. You're letting these pencil pushers, I mean, these numbers people, all they're worried about is finances. You're letting
Money.
them make medical decisions instead of a doctor. Somebody, I mean, in that case, somebody who's been doing it for 25 years. There's a problem. And there's the only solution to it is screw the stupid insurance companies. Somebody's got to sue them and say, look, this is it. You see all these lawyers. Oh, if you got diagnosed late with cancer, call us. Well, you know what? Maybe the reason I got diagnosed late is because these stupid insurance companies.
Because
Let's not sue the doctor. Let's sue the insurance company. The doctor's hands are tied 90% of the time. They can't do a test without the insurance company's approval.
The doctors are the victims here.
Well, they're not the victims. They're in the middle. The victim is still the consumer.
Well, yes, of course.
But
I figured that the doctors were also victims here.
Yeah, a little bit.
Since they literally can't do anything unless the insurance gets approved.
Yeah, and honestly, I think that's part of the reason you're seeing fewer and fewer people go to be doctors. Number one, it takes so long to become a doctor.
It does.
But number two, they just got to sit there and fight with the insurance company. They can't actually just help people. They have to get permission to help people. Is what it really comes down to. Anyway. So, you'll get into that world sooner or later. Lucky you.
And what's even worse about this is that the insurance companies control the politicians too.
Oh yeah.
The politicians can't do anything about it.
Yeah. Insurance, everything for insurance is they control everything, even your cars. Hyundai and Kia, there's supposedly. Okay, folks. So the wonderful world of Windows has screwed us over again. We've, yeah, it just cut us off, stopped recording. The stupid software, OBS, wouldn't even react. I mean, I could pause the recording, but supposedly I could pause it. But it was still recording, even though it said, hey, it's paused. So wherever I cut it off, sorry. I'm not going back and doing it all over again because I don't have time. Anyhow. So yeah, insurance screws everybody over.
Yep.
Move on. Transition. So, next topic. It has to do with car thefts. Not really the whole car, but
Kia and Hyundai.
Yeah, well, that's a little piece of it. That's really not what this topic is about, actually.
Kia's new logo is ugly, by the way.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it froze up and we didn't record until after before that. So,
Ah, well,
yeah, anyhow, you got it in there.
I did.
So, there's been a rash of car break-ins in Syracuse. And
Mm-hmm.
not even just in the city, in the suburbs as well. Not as far out as we are yet, kind of knock on the wood with
Yet.
that. It's just a matter of time before it does come out. But um, so they were talking about this one apartment complex um, where several vehicles all in one night, where the windows were smashed in. And they talked to this one lady, and she said, they got my cash, they got my credit cards, they got my license. I'm like, wait a minute. Who the
Why'd you
hell
leave
leaves?
that in your car?
Yeah. And then she said, and they tried using my credit card too. I'm like, eh, what the hell are you
That's
thinking? You leave cash, credit cards, and your license in your car? You're just asking for it to be stolen. I mean, seriously.
how stupid can you be?
Yeah, I mean, I feel bad. I felt bad until she said that. And then I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
you're on your own there, lady.
You did this to yourself.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, what are people
Use your
thinking?
damn brain.
And the worst part is, she's not the only one that's doing stupid things like, leaving purses in plain sight within their car.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, sure, maybe your windows are tinted, but guess what? Somebody who wants to steal something, they're going to shine
We'll
a light.
steal it.
They're going to shine a light bright enough to go through the tinted window so they can see what's in there. And if they see a purse sitting there, they're going to take a chance. As long as nobody's around and they can smash that window without you hearing it, they're going to take a chance. It's like, I don't know. I'm baffled as to why people would leave something in the car like that. That just makes no sense at all.
I don't get it either.
You know? Just seriously, folks, think. I mean, just think. Even without the
Think, people, think.
yeah, even without the rash of thefts recently and break-ins, even without that, I mean, I don't know, because you could go to your car insurance company and say, hey, my car got broken into. Okay, well, we'll repair it. Well, they got my credit cards and they got my cash. Well, I'm sorry, but I can't help
I'm
you with
sorry, that's
that.
not covered.
Yeah. And, rightfully so. I'm like, holy
You did this
crap,
to
people.
yourself.
Yeah. Don't expect miracles. I mean, insurance is there for when something happens, not, to cover your stupidity. It's really about an accident. It's not about your stupidity. But oh well. All right, so last topic. And
One
yes,
more.
folks, this is probably going to be a short show because I'm frustrated right now, so
Hmm.
anyhow. So last topic.
Transition.
Yes, transition. So, lately everything has been called mass.
Okay.
Not mass as in, the religious ceremony or anything like that. No, mass as in quantity.
Ah.
So, you know, there's been a lot of shootings this year that have gotten on the news. I'm not going to lie, you know. But now,
For a sec, I thought you were talking about the unit of measurement.
well, hold on. Not mass as in weight.
Ah.
So, what's happening is every news agency is calling every single shooting a mass shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So, somebody goes, I mean, sure, they're using, they're using an assault style rifle. They've
I
corrected
mean,
themselves.
this isn't new.
No,
This isn't new at all.
but hold on. So, the news has corrected themselves. They're not calling them assault rifles anymore. They're calling them assault style rifles,
Uh,
which, is
I'm
much,
talking
much
about
more
the
accurate.
mass shooting thing.
Yeah, but hold on.
Every single crime involving a gun since Columbine has been called a mass shooting,
No,
especially if two or more people have died.
that's the problem right there. You see, they go and, oh, well, four people were shot. This mass shooting. Oh, hold on, wait a minute. Four people
Exactly.
were shot, one of which is the shooter. How is this a mass shooting? I can tell you how. It's a mass shooting because it gets ratings.
Exactly.
You know, and they're saying, oh, well, there's been 200 mass shootings this year. It's up 200%. Well, of course it is, because now instead of
Of course it is because
you've lowered it,
everything
so two
every
people
gun crime
involved.
involving two or more deaths is a mass shooting these days. And it's been this way since Columbine.
It's just getting worse.
It is getting worse.
You know, I
But
mean,
what I'm saying is this is nothing new.
no, it is
The
because
media has been like this since Columbine.
no, no, they haven't been calling them mass shootings since Columbine, unless it was a large number of people.
Hmm.
And it's not necessarily dead as much as it is shot, injured.
Hmm.
But now, even if they don't go in there and shoot anybody, they're calling it a mass shooting. I mean, even if they go in and they're a horrible shot and they can't hit the side of a barn from 10 feet away, they're calling it a mass shooting because they fired 5 bullets.
Nobody got hit.
Yeah,
How is that a mass shooting?
exactly. And that's the problem. They're looking for ratings. And I don't know what they're going to call it when, somebody actually does a mass shooting where, say like 20 people get killed.
They're gonna call it a mass shooting, of course.
Well, they're going to have something else.
No, 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 no. Everything is a mass shooting.
No, they're going to have something else because that won't be dramatic enough.
No,
It's
no,
all
no. They
about
call
creating the
everything a
drama.
mass shooting.
It's all about creating drama. If you're calling two people in a
If there's a
gunfight,
gun involved, then it's a mass
yeah.
shooting.
If you're calling two people in a gunfight a mass shooting, what are you going to call it when there's 20 people that have been killed? You know,
A mass
you can't
shooting.
call it a mass shooting because that's not going to be dramatic enough. That's not going to get the
They already
attention.
say it's a mass shooting.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I'm just getting tired of everything being blown out of proportion.
Hmm.
Yes, it's tragic that even one person is killed. However, you know, gun control, as we've discussed on here before, isn't going to solve the issue. The only thing that's going to solve the issue is to fix the mental crisis that we have in the United States, which, by the way,
Hmm.
folks, goes right back to the first thing that we talked about tonight, the healthcare system. Because guess what? You can't just
Insurance
go and check
companies.
you can't just go and check yourself in. No, 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 no. You can't check yourself in. I mean, you can, but the insurance company's not going to pay for it right away.
If they even pay for it at all.
Oh, they will eventually because sooner or later a lawyer will find out that they're not covering it, and you know you'll talk to the lawyer, and the lawyer will say, well, we can get them to pay for all of this plus because they didn't pay for it to start with.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, we really need to figure out what's going on with these people as far as the issues that are causing them to do this. Some
Hmm.
of it, like the latest shooting down there in Texas, was racially motivated. I mean, they found white
Yep.
supremacist stuff all over the place on the guy's social media posts. And
Honestly, that's not too surprising for Texas.
mm,
That's just about half their population anyway.
Yeah, but the whole thing is, if there's what they need to do is they need to stop telling these social media companies to take those things down, and they need to start researching and finding out, okay, is this real? Do they truly feel this way? Or is this just bogus and they're making stuff up just for attention? And if they're not just making it up, if they really do feel this way, who are they in contact with? Who are they who are they working with? If they're working with anybody. Don't take it down until you're ready to go in and arrest the person because you've got enough to do that. But instead, these social media companies are, they're being pressured to be cops, and they're not cops. You know, it's a private platform, so yes, they can take the post down if they feel like it. But, that means that they're making that decision, not a police officer, not somebody who's trained, not somebody who's going to be able to do anything about it. They're just saying, okay, well, we don't accept that and we're going to take it off of there. Okay, good. But, number one, they're just going to open another account under a fake name. Or even their same name, it might be their actual name. Unless you start requiring some kind of identification to prove you are who you are. I could go and I could open 15 or 20 different accounts on Facebook or on Twitter. It doesn't matter. But...
Or on Google.
Yeah. I mean, there's people who, they don't pay for stores. They just, because Google gives you so much for free. They just keep getting, they keep opening new Google accounts. And they get the free storage, and they just, move things around so that it all fits. And if they run out of storage, they just open another one. What's it to them? They don't care. There's apps out there now that'll actually figure out, that it'll do stuff so that it seems like it's one drive. So, what do these people care? But that's how it is, even with Facebook. You can open 1,000 different accounts. Nobody's going to know. So taking these accounts down doesn't do anything other than make it difficult for the cops to actually track them and figure out what's going on. But, I think that's why, I don't know. I'm just, they got to actually start reporting it based on actual quantities,
Mm-hmm.
Somebody fires off 20 bullets. Okay, well,
It
maybe they're at
doesn't
the
hit
shooting
anything.
range. Maybe they're at the shooting range and they fired 20
Maybe.
bullets. Is that a mass shooting?
No.
Because they're
Or maybe
shooting
they're
at a
out
target
hunting.
instead of some person. I mean, come on.
Mm-hmm.
We've got to stop with all the drama. Stop trying to make things dramatic, and stop trying to, let's prove a point because there's a gun problem here. Well, okay, but how about the guy in Brownsville who just decided to take his SUV and run over 8 people and kill them? That didn't involve a gun at all.
Does that mean we gotta ban SUVs now?
Yeah. And there was a guy in New York City who did a similar thing. He actually went and rented a truck and then drove it down a bike path just to run people over. I point out over and over again, 9/11 did not include any guns at all.
It was mostly just box cutters.
Yes, box cutters and surprise. They with one plane, with 2 planes, they took down the Twin Towers that killed thousands of people.
And then with a third, they took out a portion of the Pentagon.
Yeah. Yeah, and they tried with another. They had a fourth that was actually
Either
taken
the White
down.
House or the Capitol.
Yeah, that was taken down because the people on board decided, you know what, I'm going to die anyhow. I'm killing them. I'm going to die trying.
Because the people already knew of what happened with the other 3 planes.
Yep. They knew exactly what was going on at that point.
Yep.
But there were no guns in there at all. None.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's not a gun problem, folks. It's a mental health problem. I'm not saying that, people truly need assault weapons or assault style weapons, because they don't.
They
But
don't.
at the same time, the Second Amendment does not specify what kind of guns you have the right to bear.
Mm-hmm.
And until they actually change that Second Amendment, they ain't going to change anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say an amendment to the Constitution, editing the Second Amendment would really help.
Yes, however, editing these
Any
second...
military grade weapons should not be in the hands of non-military personnel, and that includes the cops.
Yeah. Well, the problem is, if you were to edit the Second Amendment, a revolution will start almost immediately.
That's gonna happen anyway.
Yeah, it will. And, where the wealthy politicians are going to have to, or what they're going to have to rely on is the fact that they're going to have to rely on the military actually siding with them rather than with the people. And who knows what'll happen.
Honestly, and that I think the military will be split between the people and the government.
Yeah. But, hopefully it never comes to that, but, as I've said before, I see it coming. But at any rate, folks, enough of our...
You can hear the music in the background.
Yeah.
So that means good night.
We'll see you.